Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm back with the fourth and final episode of this Traveller's Notebook that we've been working on. I started it last week for a Finish Up Friday project. We got all the pockets in and things, as well as, hello Toffee, my kitty cat's just here, as well as quite a bit of the ephemera in the last episode. And I just, when I was going back through, there were some bits that I wasn't happy with where the ephemera was. So we're going to go back through and do that. So I've got here this tag. I went through and picked out some of the bits that I do want to put in this journal. So I thought that tag had worked really well there actually with that vintage piece. Thought that would work really nicely. I like that. I am happy with here, but she needs her name tag in there before she's finished. So let's do that. And this one's going to be called Tilly. So that needs to go in there. Okay. Oh, and this bit, what I want to do is I've already put an embellishment, a little cluster down here, and also done some stenciling. But I had another one of these little die cuts in the pieces that I pulled out for this journal. So I thought this might actually go quite nicely up on there. And it just gives another little hidden tuck spot, but doesn't interfere too much with the space for writing. Realistically, something needs to be put in there. Let me have a look at what I've got. I've got a little sticker. Don't want the sticker. Thought I might have a ticket or something. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got these little bits over here. Let's see if there's anything here. Got this little butterfly bit. It's not sticking. Has a bit of space. So could put in that Tim Holtz piece. No, I don't like that. Got this Tim Holtz piece. Just a little bit of ephemera. That would go in there. Okay. So that's that bit done. Let's make sure that's closed properly. We've got our tag there, but I don't think it's been inked around. So yeah, this is literally the finishing up episode. Yeah, we've got our cute tag there that can go in that bit. And we've got to do the cover. Okay, I've got this. I was going to swap this out, but I think actually I like it now. But we've got some space here. So I have one of these cards. And I thought that might go really nicely in there, actually. I just like the colours. Or do I like the pink? Oh, there's a lot of pink kind of there. Let's put that there. I'm going to put that one there. Okay, we don't need anything there. So here on this one, I actually pulled out one of these. This is a Herbal Memory Decks card. It's a Release the Crafting digital. And I have printed it on overhead projector laminate sheet. And I like using these. I wasn't going to put a pocket on the front of this because of this beautiful leaf. But if I put something like this on here and it will dry clear, the glue, I can still see some of that leaf detail behind it, which is what I really like. I'm going to add this back on, this little Tim Holtz clip. Because I like that on there and it just keeps it closed. So behind here I was thinking, well, I might put this in this bit or in here. Could put that in there. And then I've got this envelope that I wanted to use. I thought that might tuck in quite nicely like that, actually, with the birds just poking out. And then again, I've got this piece of Tim Holtz ephemera. It's a large ticket. Oh gosh, sorry, an ink pad just went flying, a mini one. Okay. Yeah, it's a large ticket from one of the ephemera packs. And I thought it'll act in here as a piece of ephemera, but also with writing space on the back. And that could go behind there. Okay, I like this because there's pink over on this page, so this picks up the pink there. I don't need any of that. Oh, okay, so I had this somewhere else in the journal and I've decided to move it. I want to put it here instead. Okay, I like that. And I added the word field notes just on that bit of the mini file folder. This is all good. I like that. All I did was I added some green sari silk to that. It had like black and white twine. It needed that. This is all good. Okay, here in the middle, here for this one, I removed, I can't even remember what it was, but there was something here. And instead I thought this worked better here. And this is one of those little scrappy pads that I love to put in journals because you could write on it, but also it's just fun papers to use in your journal. And I thought the brown here kind of picked up not only the kind of brown here, but this little bit of brown from this. So it kind of pulls it all in. I thought that looked nice. That's good. Oh, so we've got to work on this. So let's work on this then. So I have two pieces, wherever the second piece is, of more of that eco dyed card. I want to put some tabs on here because we need to be able to pull it out, and this is going to go in the back pocket. I'm not going to overfill this because this journal is already beyond chunky. But, you know, it's one of mine. And this will be available in my shop, in my Etsy shop, linked below. So whoever does buy this will be able to take lots of the ephemera out and put their own stuff in if they want to. So I want this in here, just tucked into this back space with the tab up. And then there's another one over here. Just want them tucked in so you can see the tab a little bit. And they just poke out and you'll be able to pull that out. And then I'm thinking, I've got this piece here that could fit in there. Got another one of these pockets. So there's a pocket here as well with the butterfly, the piece of ephemera maybe. Or I could put that there. Possibly. Possibly there. I don't know. Let's put it here. I have a little ticket that can go in there. I was also wondering, maybe, because, you know, I love what they called labels so much. I might put a couple of labels in there too that can be used in the journal. And then on this side, we've got two pockets that we haven't filled. I did look at this. This is the rosemary version. I've already got the lavender version of this. And I'm thinking that would fit in there. And again, it gives space to write on the back because it's printed out on tea-dyed paper. I'm wondering if that's going to fit. Oh, yes, it does. Does it poke out a little bit? No, that's good. So that can go in there. And then we have a little space here. We have got, again, this Tim Holtz piece. Maybe that would fit in there. There's not a lot of colour, though, is there? On these pieces. Let's have a look and see if there's anything else that could go in there. I mean, that's quite cute. And it's got pink on it. Let's just not overthink it. Again, it's a little Tim Holtz piece of ephemera. And then that's done. Yay! And again, we've got space behind here for a tuck spot as well. But I don't want to put, that's already chunky. This is all good. I like this. Oh, I swapped this out. This had one of my collage cards in it, but instead I put one of my photographs in there. I just thought the collage with the collage card that I had in there with this piece of decoration, I just felt it was too much. So this is just a bit more muted. We've got that. This is all good with its tuck in there. Okay, so here we have the altered paper clip, and I do have another one of those cards, but then I had this, and I really did want to use this in here, just because I've got it, and why not use it? I think it'll work really well here because the browns in this flowers, the browns and oranges, work with that. And this is where I moved that collage index card to that was originally here. I just felt it was too much. And so here I like all this. Don't think I need anything else here. Happy with all of that. And happy with that. And now it's filled. And we can see how chunky this is. Now, the main thing we now need to think about... This is so chunky, guys. The main thing I now need to think about is the cover. Now, this is not going to stay still. But that's okay. I can try and clip it gently. Just to keep it closed while I'm like... I say I'm going to try and clip it. Okay, right. That'll have to do. I don't know. So I have these two. I have the embellishment that I do really like, but I also have this metal butterfly that I also really, really love. So let's see how both look, basically. I want to use some of this trim. Let's put the butterfly on there. I don't know where I got this butterfly from. I've had it years in my stash and I just have never got round to using it. So this might be a good project to use this butterfly up on. Let's do this. I'm sorry about the sun and all the shadows. I'm not sorry for the sun. It's very nice to have the sun. But yeah. It is what it is. So we've got that one. I do think that kind of looks quite nice on there, actually. I feel like it needs something else behind it. So I'm just going to look at my fabric swatch behind. And I do have some burlap. Let's see how that looks. Just behind the butterfly. It might be too much, especially with the stuff that I've put on the spine. Let's see how that looks. Like so. And then that. And how would that look on there? What do I think? What do I think? I don't know, guys. I don't know what I think. Indecisions. Okay, I think I quite like that with all the fringing down there. So I might like that. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch around this. And then I'll be able to stitch it onto the actual front of the... Okay, guys, I've kind of moved positions because I feel like I needed to with the lighting. So I've stitched around this and I've done it twice. And I'm thinking that'll go on there, which is quite nice. I was even wondering about making that into a pocket, but I'm not going to. Honestly, you can go crazy with pockets. You really can. Sometimes it's best to just know when to stop. Okay, so I'm going to stick this on the, hold on, I need to cut this off. I'm going to stick this onto the front of here. And I'm thinking I probably need what's it called? Oh gosh, glue gun glue. I probably need glue gun glue, but I'm going to try with this first. But it's going to take time to set. And that's the main problem. Like so. Realistically, I need something to press that down. Okay. So whilst that's learning to stick onto there, learning to stick, we can work on putting some beads and charms on here. So the smaller one, I'm going to put a bead on, or a couple of beads actually. And I like to make sure that I put a knot at the top and leave sort of like a centimetre or half an inch between the bottom of my signatures or the bottom of the journal and the knot, so that there's a gap, which just means if you're putting it on a bookcase and that, this should sit. I have this really lovely bead. It has a wood effect, but it's not wood, because let's make sure this this bead can't go over that knot, because I know in certain countries, and I've got this vintage mottled stone bead. It's a Scottish one from a really old vintage necklace that I had. So I want to do that like so. And yeah, make sure there's a knot that they can't fall off. Okay. Lovely, that can go over that top bead, but I might put some glue on it and that'll keep it in place. And just leave a little bit of the thread, because I like to fray that, the wax thread. Again, just to give a bit more interest. And then I'm going to put another bead on this one. Again, just use a double knot or a triple knot. And I have this lovely, oh gosh, where'd that go to? Hold on, guys. Lovely red bead. That went flying across the room. And I'm using this to pick up the red in the poppy there. And then I also have a Tim Holtz medal charm that says happy. I like adding charms. I like having words either on the outside or in a charm of some sort on my journals. It's just something that I really like to do. Let's put that back through there, like so. That should be further up, so let's just loosen this a bit. Which I should still be able to do. All fingers and thumbs. Doobity-doo, Doop 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 doop. Nope, that does not want to move. Okay, hold on. I should be able to, because I mean, I know I've done a knot in it, but because it's waxed thread, you can often undo it. Okay, hold on. Okay guys, so I actually was able to undo it, and then I put the extra thread back up through there. So as you can see, if it's sitting on a bookcase, these will sit out, which is nice. And then we have to decide on how to finish it. So I've got to tie it. So I've got this beautiful sari silk, which is gorgeous, and I do have some vintage bias binding. My problem with this is we already have some bias binding on the other bit, but I do really like this dark green one rather than the sari silk. I think this dark green one works better. Yeah, I think the dark green one works better. This has more of a blue vibe to it, so I don't want that, considering the journal. So guys, there we go. So we have the cover with this metal butterfly. We now have the beads, and it says happy. Tim Holtz, full to bursting with ephemera. Do a quick flip through. I've got this, don't forget this is from 1879, guys. It's all written on the back. I'm not sure if I showed you that. Pocket there with doily, some Edith Holden. Tea-dyed papers and fabric embellishment. There's her name, Tilly, and a tag, get the words out, Belle. Avocado dye. Then we have this from a vintage book page, and we've got little bits in there for extra writing. We have a tag here. Eco dyed paper, beautiful tissue paper. This opens up. We've got a journaling card here, embellishment, vintage imagery. This is beautiful, all the writing space. Avocado dyed piece of paper. A card. And then another little pocket with a vintage tea card down there. Piece of Tim Holtz. This beautiful paper. This is vintage. This comes off. It opens down completely for writing space. You can see that. Then we have a pocket here, little tag. Envelope behind here with some decoupage napkin. Really like how those birds pop out. Large piece of Tim Holtz ephemera to write on. We have this side. Double pocket here. So we have some Edith Holden, a file folder. It's got writing space in there. And we have one of my postcards. I'm pretty sure this is vintage as well. That's Edith Holden. This is vintage. Got this beautiful stamp that I attached. Some Tim Holtz pieces. And there's the back. Vintage book page. Pocket here with some space to write. And this cute little tag that's got vellum over the top that kind of lifts off. And vintage imagery there. Tea-dyed paper, Edith Holden. Some eco-dyed label there. Got a double pocket here with nothing in. And we have this pad with lots of, like, this is vintage on there. Edith Holden, tea dyed, avocado dyed, even vintage graph paper. Got this little decoration. vintage tea card in there. An embellishment made with a vintage image. We have this, so it's a tuck spot behind, bias binding opening. Got a pocket here, pockets, and obviously the eco-dyed little pieces in there. Lots of bits, and this is vintage as well. And then don't forget, this is all tea dyed papers to write on. Well, we've got all that. And that ties up and hangs out the side, which I really like the look of. Vintage book page there. And this opens up. Vintage image. Cute little tag. One of my photos. Embellishment that I made. More writing space here with lots of fun tea dyeing. And then you could put more there if you wanted. Beautiful on that side. We have some eco dyeing there. And there is like handmade paper and vintage book pages on there, as well as scrapbook paper and things. Obviously that comes out. You see the beautiful dried flowers. And another tag. Then here we have a paper clip and these two pieces in there that can just pop in. And the other side of that, we've got one of my collaged journal cards. This is Edith Holden. This is vintage. This is vintage. There's the back. Some vellum stickers down here. Eco dyed. We've got an Edith Holden belly band with a pocket at the front. That in like that. And then we have this vintage postcard in there. It's absolutely beautiful, guys. It does actually say something up here. Lynn of something or other. Does it say it on the back? Valentine's series. No. But apparently it's a Valentine's card, a postcard. Interesting. Vintage music paper. This beautiful embroidered piece here is a flip. Edith Holden here. This fun little stamp booklet that you can rip those out, and this is from a vintage book page, vintage book. And then right at the back we have this from a vintage book and another one of my personal photographs. And then it's all going to tie together with this vintage bias binding in this beautiful deep green. And we've finished, guys. We have finished Tilly. She's got bits hanging out the side, some fabric. You can see some fabric at the top. Lots. I mean, she's just a chunky. She's a chunky journal, which is what I love personally. I love a chunky journal. I love a journal that's just full to bursting, that you may have to remove bits to add more bits, because that just seems generous to me. She's a generous chunky journal. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this series, guys. I know a lot of you have asked to see how I make journals or my thought process. So with these finish up projects, you're kind of getting a little glimpse into that. And it's easier to do something like a traveler's notebook than one of my big giant journals, because I just spend so long on them that I would not be able to really film that process. Oh, I just love that butterfly on there. It's simple, but it kind of works. Anyway, this is Tilly. And she will be available in my shop possibly next week. So yeah. So she's not available yet, but I'll put a small flip through up when she is available, even though I've just done a flip through now. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of creative fun. Bye for now.